You're watching WYLN TV 35. Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is WYLN News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. WYLN News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on WYLN News. I'm Paula Degnan. A Freeland man is in jail on charges of sexually assaulting a minor. 31-year-old Juan Lehigh Mercado was taken into custody August 7th after a 12-year-old girl reported he gave her alcohol and sexually assaulted her on June 14th. Police received word of the alleged assault from the Luzerne County District Attorney's Office. Police say the child underwent a forensic interview in which she detailed the events of a party occurring at Lehigh Mercado's home where he gave her alcoholic drinks. Later in the night, the girl was joined by Lehigh Mercado in a bedroom that she was given to sleep in. However, when he began to inappropriately touch her and perform a sexual act on her, she told him to stop, which he did not adhere to. He now faces multiple felony violations, including involuntary deviant sexual intercourse with a child, sexual assault, aggravated indecent assault of a child, and corruption of minors, among others. Bail set at $250,000. He was unable to post it and was taken to jail. A Pennsylvania man now faces charges for threatening the FBI. 46-year-old Adam Bies was arrested this past Friday after allegedly making multiple threats on a right-wing social media site called Gab under the username Blank Focus. According to court documents, the FBI National Threat Operations Section Social Media Exploitation Team received a tip regarding Bies, who allegedly posted violent threats toward the FBI and law enforcement, stating, "My only goal is to kill more of them before I drop, and if you work for the FBI, then you deserve to die." In another post, Bies allegedly wrote, "Every single piece of expletive who works for the FBI in any capacity, from the director down to the janitor who cleans their expletive toilets, deserves to die. You've declared war on us, and now it's open season on you." Bies is charged with influencing, impeding, or retaliating against federal law enforcement officers. If convicted, he faces a maximum penalty of 10 years in prison. A federal district court judge will determine any sentence after considering the U.S. sentencing guidelines and other statutory factors. A Bloomsburg woman already facing charges was arrested after assaulting a woman on the steps of the Columbia County Courthouse. According to police, 35-year-old Tanya Bush walked out of the courthouse after attending a custody hearing. She began yelling at Angel Lang, grabbed her by the hair and throat, and pushed her up against a wall. Lang told police Bush also threatened her and her family and blocked her from going back into the courthouse during the confrontation. Bush is charged with making terroristic threats as well as harassment by physical contact and disorderly conduct. She faces similar charges along with resisting arrest when police in Hemlock Township responded to reports of several people fighting in the produce department at Walmart on August 4th. That incident involving Lang began when another shopper, along with Lang, gave Bush the middle finger. She responded by grabbing the man's throat and then having two other individuals, Kenneth Johnston and Aaron Warren, step in and allegedly beat him. 4 people are still hospitalized in critical condition following the tragedy Saturday at a fundraiser in Berwick. 1 woman is killed, and in all, 17 people were taken to area hospitals for treatment when a vehicle driven by 24-year-old Adrian Sura Reyes of Nescopec drove into a crowd in the parking lot of Intoxicology Department on 2nd Street in Berwick. They were there raising money to help the families of fire victims who died in a fire August 5th in Nescopec. According to Pennsylvania State Police investigators, there appears to be no link between the Saturday incident and the fire, which claimed the lives of 10 people, some of them children. Sura Reyes is being held in the Columbia County Correctional Facility without bail. He's also accused of leaving the scene of that incident, driving to Nescopec, striking his mother with his vehicle, and then killing her with a hammer. Several GoFundMe accounts have been set up at GoFundMe.com. The investigation into complaints regarding the May 18th primary election by the Luzerne County District Attorney's Office has been completed. DA Sam Sanglagolce says he and his staff found no evidence of criminal activity or intent. The investigation looked at over 24 various complaints which were expressed on Election Day and after. The investigation included interviews with voters, poll workers, and various local officials. They found some of the concerns could have been addressed by proofreading or more training. They also checked voting machines for possible tampering, but none was found. Another preview of a planned PennDOT project will be on display. This one is planned for the Sansui Parkway in Hanover Township. The project would be from just west of Loomis Street to just east of Weston Road. It would include pavement replacement, replacing the bridge culvert structures over Nanticoke and Warrior Creeks. The plans will be on display this evening at the Hanover Area Junior-Senior High School gym. They will be there until 8 o'clock this evening. They're also available online at penndot.gov Region 4 through August 29th. The project expected to begin in 2025 and wrap up in the winter of 2027. And speaking of PennDOT District 4, they're also hosting a hiring event coming up. It's tomorrow, Wednesday, August 17th, from 2 to 6 p.m. at each location of the 6 counties that District 4 serves. They're hiring those with CDL licenses for snowplow drivers, as well as dispatchers, custodial, and clerical workers and engineers. Some positions which begin as part-time could become full-time. You can log on to PennDOT.employment.pa.gov with all the positions listed available, including pay rates and qualifications necessary. And if you go to the Dunmore office of PennDOT that day, you'll also get a tour of the facility and meet some of those already employed in some of those positions. 2 recalls have been called on products that may put your children at risk. More than 5,000 cases of wild cherry Capri Suns. The announcement coming after Kraft Heinz said a diluted cleaning solution was accidentally introduced into the production line at one of its factories. The company says the affected boxes have a best when used by date of June 25th, 2023, and no other flavors were included in that recall. And more than 2 million infant swings from the company 4Moms are being voluntarily recalled, the company urging parents to stop using the products immediately. The Mamaroo Baby Swing and Rockaroo Baby Rockets sold at Bye Bye Baby and Target are being voluntarily recalled because of a risk of entanglement or strangulation. 1 death has been reported from the Mamaroo swing. Today, Governor Tom Wolf signed Executive Order 2022-2 to protect Pennsylvanians from conversion therapy. The executive order directs Commonwealth agencies to discourage conversion therapy in the Commonwealth, to take steps to actively promote evidence-based best practices for LGBTQIA+ individuals that is actually supported by the scientific and medical communities, and update policies and procedures to better support LGBTQIA+ employees, the Pennsylvanians that they serve. It also directs the Department of Human Services, the Insurance Department, and Department of State and other appropriate agencies to explore and implement all options to ensure state funds, programs, contracts, and other resources are not used for the purpose of providing, authorizing, endorsing, reimbursing, or referring for conversion therapy to the extent permitted by law. Coming up on WYLN News, student entrepreneurs with bright futures ahead of them, plus e-bikes may be coming to a state park near you. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the WYLN Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Ezra. I'm 5 years old. It's kind of partly cloudy and it's kind of cold.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts, just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Watch PTN on WYLN.
The Helping Hand Society Telethon will be held August 20th at City View Park in Hazleton and broadcasted live on WYLN TV 35. Enjoy local and regional entertainment all day Saturday from noon until 9 p.m. So once again, the Helping Hand Society Telethon will be coming to you live from City View Park Saturday, August 20th from noon until 9 p.m. on WYLN TV 35 or your local network.
There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 for more information. When you see news happening in your neighborhood, call WYLN News at 570-459-1869 or email us at news@WYLNTV.com or send us a message on social media through Facebook. WYLN, we're your local network.
The Hazleton Launchbox held their Teen Entrepreneurs Hip Challenge Monday and heard a multitude of ideas to better the community with an entrepreneurial spirit. Ideas ranged from House for the Homeless t-shirts to Project Wildlife and an app for gamers that would also raise money for mental health. Michael Maliski, a junior at Crestwood, placed third for his proposed coffee house that would provide a space for artists and students alike with reduced wait times. Tiana Parker Mayo, who won second prize of $500 for her new funnel product called Bring on the Butter to better butter your popcorn. That took home the second place prize. And the winner, Jacob Marinock, a rising senior at Hazleton Area Academy of Sciences, focused on helping children born with a genetic disease known as AT by envisioning a glove that may prolong the lives of children with the rare disease by providing fast-paced electronic stimulation to keep children moving. Congratulations to all contestants and their wonderful ideas. Wow. Electric or e-bikes are becoming more popular, and DCNR may be joining the trend. The Pennsylvania Department of Conservation and Natural Resources recently drafted a policy for their use in state parks and on forested land. A similar policy is being suggested to be implemented on recreational paths along the levee system in the Wyoming Valley. Christopher Bellman, the executive director of Luzerne County's Flood Protection Authority, is suggesting signs posted with speed limits and other measures to ensure the safety of others using the recreational area. Coming up on Honey Hole's News Choice, we discuss getting pulled over on this Trooper Talk Tuesday, plus Leading the Way Part 2. And stay with us for everything else we have lined up for you later tonight on WYLN TV.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Tune in and see all the unique places to stay and things to do in the Pocono Mountains. Watch PTN on WYLN.
Like and follow WYLN News on Facebook for the midday WYLN News update, posted between noon and 2 p.m. Powered by Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton, the all-new emergency room at Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton is nearly double the size. Our updated facility features all private rooms, the latest technology, and a quicker, easier check-in process. Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton, your partner in ER care.
When emergency strikes, trust your care to the all-new ER at Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton. With a facility that's now twice the size. Experienced nurses who see you right away. A quick assessment process makes sure you get the care you need. Advanced technology on site. Safe, private treatment rooms, and a peace of mind that only this level of care can bring. When it matters most, trust your partner in emergency care. Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton.
In these uncertain times, you need to know what's really going on. The source matters now, more than ever. So turn to WYLN for up-to-the-minute information on social media, TV news updates at 1 p.m., 3 p.m., and 5 p.m., and WYLN News live at 5:30. Live local news and breaking news when it happens. WYLN TV 35, we're your local network.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
Did you know that WYLN News provides news updates every weekday afternoon
at 1, 3, and 5 here on TV and on social media?
Did you also know you can watch WYLN News on the go by visiting our website or YouTube page?
Now more than ever,
WYLN is your local news leader. It's Trooper Talk Tuesday, and joining me is Trooper Anthony Petrosky from Troop in Hazleton. And we're driving down the road, Trooper Petrosky, and all of a sudden, there's flashing lights behind us. And of course, we pull over to let them go by, but they've stopped behind me.
Uh-oh.
Now what do I do?
This is a good one. Well, here's the thing. Number one, don't panic, okay? Sometimes we're pulling you over because you're going too fast. Maybe you went through a red light or a stop sign, but there's other times when we pull you over, it's because maybe your license plate fell off or your brake lights aren't working, things like that. So, number one, don't panic, stay calm. Number two, stay in the vehicle. Please don't exit the vehicle. We may know who the vehicle is owned by running the registration in our car. That doesn't mean that's who's in the car. So somebody exits the vehicle when we pull them over, we're not sure what their intentions are. Please stay in the vehicle. We will approach, we will identify ourselves, we will say why we're pulling you over, and then we'll ask for proper documentation. That documentation is your driver's license, your registration, and your insurance card. They're all required documents. Now, if you have your insurance card on your phone, have that ready. Have a screenshot of it, have it saved, so in case you need to get it quickly, you know exactly where to find it. And then we'll ask you for those documents. Try not to reach all around the vehicle while we're walking up, because again, we don't know who's in that car and what they're reaching for. Once we ask for your documentation, you can hand it over. We'll go back to our car. We may give you a warning. We may give you a traffic citation. After that, we'll explain it to you, and you'll be free on your way. Now, arguing on the side of the road at a traffic stop is not a good idea. Number one, that's why we have magistrates. If you feel the traffic citation is improper, go to the magistrate, plead not guilty. We could have our day in court. But we're not going to handle anything on the side of the road. We want to make the traffic stop as quick as possible so we're all safe, us and the person that we pull over.
So if it is something there, you're not going to take the money?
No.
If they have to pay a fine?
Absolutely not. You go right to the magistrate. We do not take any money.
And when we're talking about getting pulled over throughout our area, there are a lot of two-lane roads.
Yes.
And no matter how far you pull over, when you drive past, I always feel bad for any law enforcement officer because they have to stand out on the side of the car. So if that happens to you and you know that there's a convenience store up ahead or a safer place, can you continue?
Yeah, so a good idea, again, if there's not a safe location for you to pull over, a good thing to do is you hear the siren, you see the lights in your rearview mirror, put your four-way, your hazards on. That kind of lets us know, okay, they're recognizing they're being pulled over. They're just waiting for a parking lot or somewhere safer. And, you can't go 5 miles down the road. Yeah. But, the next safest location, pull over. We do appreciate that because, again, we want to be safe also.
Well, I can say that because the only time I got pulled over, I was going a little bit over the speed limit.
Sure,
just a little.
Yeah.
And I felt really bad because where I had to pull over, the officer was there, and that was before the move over law came into effect. It was when I first started driving. So I had a horse. No, I'm only kidding. But with something like that, and you're now cognizant of that because of the move over law.
Absolutely, and that protects us and other first responders. And as a driver, you have to be aware of the move over law. You see an emergency responder on the side of the road, you have to get into the adjacent lane. If you can't, you have to slow down 20 miles an hour within your lane and move over as practical as you can, so to allow us to properly do our job safely.
Okay, some very good advice.
Yes.
And I didn't have a horse; I had a dinosaur.
Ah, that's a good one. She's here all day, folks.
Trooper Anthony Petrosky, Troop in Hazleton. Join us again on Trooper Talk Tuesday.
Your guide to everything Pocono Mountains is PTN, the Pocono Television Network. Watch PTN on WYLN.
Like and follow WYLN News on Facebook for the midday WYLN News update, posted between noon and 2 p.m. Tomorrow's care starts today with Lehigh Valley Hospital Hazleton, your ER partner.
Something is out there. What it is, no one knows. However, since its first sighting, there have been numerous reports of strange lights in the night sky. Some say they are extraterrestrials, flying saucers. But to all of those seemingly unrelated uncertainties, there is one common thread.
Solo Spaceman on WYLN TV 35. Thursdays at 1:30, Saturdays at 4, Sundays at 9. There's no better place to shoot than Whitetail Preserve. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicap accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 for more information.
The Helping Hand Society Telethon will be held August 20th at City View Park in Hazleton and broadcasted live on Wyln TV 35. Enjoy local and regional entertainment all day Saturday from noon until 9 p.m. So once again, the Helping Hand Society Telethon will be coming to you live from City View Park Saturday, August 20th from noon until 9 p.m. on Wyln TV 35 or your local network.
WYLN's going behind the scenes to learn more about the lives and goals of our local leaders. So, Elisa Gilinardo is leading the way into part 2 of this week's series. Welcome to Leading the Way, and this week I'm very fortunate to be spending it with Elisa Gilinardo. She is a poet originally from the Hazleton area, and now she's been different places, and all of that has been an inspiration. So where did you get the muse? Did it all of a sudden, in one of the things that happened in your life, you said, I should write something about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think I went through a kind of a dark time, and I wrote a lot. I really did, but I was always writing things in my head, and I would think, God, that would make a good story. That would be really good. And I actually did try to write a novel twice, and I don't have the discipline for it. I would start something and get really into it, and I wouldn't know where to go with it from there, and I would just abandon it. So I have a couple, like 2 books started. I never finished, and then you know, I always wanted to be a published author. I just always did. And I mean, to sit here and hold my own book, I can't even tell you what it feels like.
Well, I think it's wonderful. It must be wonderful. And not only that, but it's the experiences that you're sharing. And these experiences can be relatable?
Absolutely. And you're never too old to, you know, to do something like this. You know, I waited my whole life. I kept saying, I just want to be a published author. But, you know, you think about holding your book in your hand. You really have to. It's a lot of work. Mm-hmm. It really is. But, you know, it took me 59 years to have the discipline, well, 58, to have the discipline to do it. And I finally just sat down and did it.
And as we learned last evening, we found out that her mom would send them all to the library. Mm-hmm. So you got the books in your blood.
Absolutely. we are all readers in my family.
Now, this particular one is your book of poetry.
Yes.
And it's called what?
My Heart on Paper.
All right. Well, we're going to hear another. If you were with us last night, I'm sure you're just waiting to hear this one because last night was right on. What do we have this time?
This is from a chapter called Atonement, and the piece is called Watercolor Image. My portrait should be painted in watercolor in an abstract, undefined outline that suits me like no oil canvas could ever capture or reproduce. The colors can drip and smear down the front of the page, and I will frame it on a wall just as it is, because my life is messy and imperfect, shadowy, and at times has even been formless. I will stop and admire the image on the wall every day like a mirrored reflection. It won't be much of a showpiece, but rather a manifested still life accurately caricatured and placed permanently on display to embody all that I am and all that I ever will be.
Wow. Again, I say, Elisa Gilinardo, wow, hits it right on the mark.
Thank you.
And if you're enjoying her poetry, please make sure you join us again tomorrow night when we'll hear more of it here on Leading the Way. And that's the news. Remember, the source matters now more than ever. Catch all the latest on our Facebook page, YouTube page, or at WYLNTV.com. Stay with us. A look at today's weather is next, right here on WYLN TV.